Okay, this video is going to be how to identify a 750 SL SLT SLX Fuji engine head gasket and an SLT SLX SL 780 head gasket, and how to identify which side goes up and which side goes down. Also, I'll talk a little bit about the pistons, how to identify a 750 piston from a 780 piston. So let's start with the head gaskets. This is a 750 Fuji engine head gasket. As you can see here, it says up, UP. That means that that side will be up. This little end right here goes underneath the head, the water outlet head, just to the left of it. And this says up, so this will be down towards the carburetor side. And it needs to be up. If you have it like that, it's the wrong way. I've actually seen people put these on wrong, and your cylinder head will change colors and it will run hot. You can melt pistons, all kinds of things when you overheat. So it needs to say up. Okay, now this is a 780 cylinder head gasket. And most people look at this and they see that and they're like, what is that? Is that an E and an L for like exhaust? That doesn't make sense, because an E and an L don't make exhaust. And what I've learned, and I did this for a long time, I'm like, okay, well, the E and the L go up. That's the same as up. And if you look at the portion of that notch there, that notch still goes underneath. But then I started second guessing myself, and I was like, well, wait a second. Then I realized that's actually not an E and an L. If you turn it this way, it's a 7.8. 780. Okay, 7.8. So that is a 780. That needs to be up, because you need to be able to read 7.8. So if that's up, you turn that, and the notch goes underneath the water outlet, and that's how it goes. Okay, so that's a 7.8. That's how you identify that that's a 780 head gasket. And if it's reading 7.8, that's up. If you did it the other way, it'd be reading 8. And I don't know what that would be, but anyway, that would be the wrong way. Your head gasket would be upside down. So it needs to read 7.8. Okay, so that's how you know. And then this little notch, like I said, it goes underneath the cylinder head water inlet. This faces towards the exhaust. These notches always face towards the exhaust. Okay, so that would be the proper way. Now, when you're looking at a piston, how do you identify if you have a standard bore 750 piston or a standard bore 780 piston? Now, the 780 actually has a number on it, 78 for the 780, and then it has an A. The 780 with no other numbers here is a standard bore generally. As you can look on the piston, there's no other numbers. Usually if it was oversized, it would say 78, and then there may be another number underneath it, like 0.010, which would be 1001 would be 0.10 oversized. But this is a standard bore piston. As you can see, it's used, but it's in very nice condition, so I save it for a spare. So anyway, and then this is a 750 piston, and they always have that little notch. If anybody's wondering what is that for, that always faces towards the mag cylinder where the stator is, or the magneto. Some people call it a mag, some people call it a stator, but anyway, it's towards the flywheel. Okay, so it always faces forward towards the flywheel. That puts there's little notches in the piston. Okay, that puts those on the intake side. See the notch? That's where the ring sits in there when it goes in. So that always faces towards the intake or carb side. And these little notches always face towards the mag cylinder. Okay, now this one is a 750, and what it says is W7A. I don't know if you can read that. Let's see if I can get a little bit better light here. W7A. So that is a 750 piston, because it has a 7 and it does not have an 8. So it's a W7A. That's a 750 piston. And these both have the same little notches on them, so see that? It always faces towards the mag, and it'll also have, like this bottom one has one too. Let's see if I can get to it. This piston ring looks a little bit, oh there we go. This ring's a little bit bad, it seems like, or bent. It's going to need a new ring on this one for sure. But anyway, you can see there's the little notch for the ring. The piston itself doesn't look bad. I wonder if it got damaged sitting in the drawer or something, because the skirts look really nice. Also, if you wanted to measure to see if this piston's worn out or whatnot, or what the actual diameter is, you take a dial indicator or mic and you'd actually measure the skirt down here at the bottom. That's where you measure the piston to find out what the bore to bore your cylinder is. You measure down here towards the bottom of the skirt. About right there would be a good spot. Okay, so anyway, I hope that helps you guys out. Again, this is a 780 and this is a 750. Some people were wondering, will the 750 fit on the 780? No, it won't. I actually learned that when I had the wrong head gaskets. The holes are different. Let's see if I can line this up a little bit. They are slightly, ever so slightly. You'll see that that one's off right there. So they look like almost from a distance that they'll fit, but they're ever so slightly smaller. I think I tried to put one on a 780, not realizing. And yeah, here, this one here, you can see right here on the head gasket, you can see where it's starting to lift right here. So that's because it wasn't wide enough to fit. See that? So the 750 head gasket will not fit. That means you cannot put a 750 cylinder head on a 780 or vice versa, because they are different. Okay, so a lot of people are wondering. What you can do is purchase a cylinder, a head, and a piston and put them on a 750 case, and that's what makes it a 780. The crankshafts are identical between the 650, the 750, and the 780. The only difference is the cylinder, the head, and the piston. Now, I don't know if a 650 head would fit with a 750. I have never worked on a 650 before. I've only owned 750s and 780s. So that would be a question for someone else. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys, and have a great day. Bye.